Hello, Madcappers! Today we're going to accessorize our hat accessories with some fabulous fingerless gloves made out of fabulous polar fleece. I suggest polar fleece for this project because it's so stretchy, it's so warm, it's so cozy, and it's going to match all of our cool weather headwear that we're making right now on this channel. And you're also seeing some of the things we're going to be making soon. So here's the fingerless glove pattern, and it's available for free on our website. So just go to madcaphats.com and I'll have a link in the description below so you can get there fast. You can make the glove with or without a cuff, or with or without elastic at the very end. I've put elastic in this one just to close in the area around my fingers, but that's optional, as is the cuff. And I'm going to show you how to make the fingerless glove with the cuff today. We leave an opening for our thumb, and on one side we're going to sew an extra wide seam, a 1/2 inch or 125 millimeters, and we're going to leave an opening of about 3 inches or 7.5 centimeters for our thumb. And there's the optional cuff. We're going to add that too, and there's your measurements if you want to just replicate my gloves. From my pattern piece, I made a mark on my fleece where I'm going to leave my opening for the thumb, and so I'm leaving that gap and I'm sewing my wide seam. And now I'm just going to flatten out that seam, and I'm going to flatten it out with my hand, and then I'm going to pin it at the very edge of the raw edge at the thumb opening so that I can top stitch on either side of that seam, including the thumb opening, and do a nice consistent seam all the way down. And I'll use the width of my presser foot. So the left side of my presser foot, left to the needle, is my guide. And I pivot and go back up the other side with about the same width. Looks good. Now I'm going to go and add another row on either side of those 2 rows that I just made. So for a total of 4. I have 4 rows of top stitching that looks very nice on the outside, but it gives me a nice comfortable flat seam on the inside. And across the top, I'm going to do a serge just because I'm going to give these probably to a customer, but you don't need to because that's going to get hemmed. Although if you do a serge, you may decide not to do a hem and just keep them extra long. So I'll finish up by sewing a regular seam width of 3/8 of an inch or 1 centimeter on each side of the glove, and I'm trying them on to see how I like them, and I'm also trying them on to see how deep that hem should be at the top. So it's a personal thing. You can put yours on and decide. Just do them the same on each side, and my magnet measure comes in handy for that. And I'm going to go around, try them on again. Yep, that's good. So I'll do the other one the same. So you can stop here if you'd like, or you can add the optional cuff, which just covers in the bottom of the thumb opening. And so I'm going to add the cuff and show you how to do that. So I'm just sewing the right sides together, and then I'm going to do some top stitching to make that seam flat. And if you're on this channel, you know that I do a lot of top stitching. It's a little tricky with this because it's tight quarters here, but I'll go down as best I can, pivot, and come back up the other side. And I'm just going to figure out how deep my hem should be. And this is the part that's going to go around the base of the thumb. So I like to make it at least 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters. This one's a little bit more than that. And I'll make it the same on both sides. So once I finish doing this hem, I'm going to attach the cuff to the glove body. And I'm going to attach the 2 raw edges, the 2 bottom edges together. But I'm going to do it by inserting the cuff inside the glove body. So the 2 hemmed edges are facing upwards or away from me. And I'm going to match the seam on the cuff to the seam on the glove body that does not have the opening for the thumb. So my cuff seam is going to be the right side facing the wrong side of the glove seam. And I hope you can see that there. And I'm just going to spread it out evenly. The cuff is a little bit wider than the glove, so you're just going to pull on the glove slightly, and you can pin it too to hold it in place. And I use my regular seam width of 3/8 of an inch or 1 centimeter to join the two pieces at the bottom. And now when I finish and I pull my cuff out, I've got that seam buried in between the two layers of the glove. And I can just hide it better by adding a top stitch just above it once I finish. And it feels so good. So now I'm going to do the other side. Same thing, top stitch that seam flat on the cuff, make a hem that's the same as the side that I just finished so that they match perfectly, or almost perfectly as they can match. Put the cuff in, match those two bottom edges, sew them together, turn the cuff right side out, bury the seam at the bottom, roll that seam down to the bottom, and I will do my top stitching, and then voila, I shall be done. Now, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I answer each and every one of you. And thank you so much for joining me today for this lesson. It goes great with all our hats, and I'm off to the post office. So like this video, subscribe to this channel, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.